I know that it's Monday and all, but it can't be this slow of a news day, can it, Nancy? Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, so I don't know really what happened to Nancy Grace's like part 2 of her bone-chilling revelation boo-boo that came from Howard Bloom's even bigger boo-boo of a book that she was supposed to do. There was like a little 4-minute and 50-second one that she put out, but I didn't even really bother because it sounded like it was just regurgitation, okay? She legit posted the full-length part 2 as I was going to go upload this. So I just stopped so that I can put this in here so that you guys can see. It says 0 views 1 minute ago. I literally just caught it. So I'm not going to probably watch it. I'm really probably not. I can't really deal with too much Nancy. This little like 5-minute thing here was too much of my energy wasted on her today. So if you guys end up watching it and there's some crazy stuff for real, drop it in the comments with like a timestamp or something. But I'm not wasting a whole almost hour of my life on that video. Then she posted this title and I about spit in my freaking coffee everywhere because I don't understand what this woman's problem is. Okay. Now I want you guys to seriously pay attention. And I know I mentioned this also in the clip I'm going to put in here because I recorded me watching this and reacting to it on the StreamYard app. And then I took that and I'm going to implement it into this portion of it, but it was just easier for me to do it that way in order to get my screens and everything together. I'm learning how to do this a little bit quicker, which is awesome. And I know that most of you guys don't like watching Nancy or listening to her voice, all the things, but I need you guys to watch this. There's a reason, okay? Watch her eyes. Look at her hair. Look at her skin. Look at her, like literally there's no whites in her eyes whatsoever. It's completely red. Her hair, I can't even understand. There's something wrong. And I'm not saying that to be like a smart ass, like sarcastic like I normally am, okay? Something's wrong. And that's the only reason why I'm even like doing this video like this. I want you guys to watch it. Not only that, but this subject here, mental decline is like the only thing that I can think of. And the fact that her entire crew just placates to her. And we've seen it a lot. We saw it with Wendy Williams. We saw it with Ellen DeGeneres. And then all of a sudden, all these truths started coming out, right? So I don't put anything past anything. And I'm just going to put my opinion out there. Watch this video with me and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
In Kohberger's defense is the appearance that his counsel truly believes he is innocent. Ann Taylor and her assistants have said that they support Kohberger, but body language experts say Taylor's positioning far away from Kohberger suggests otherwise. Some even say it looks like Taylor fears Kohberger. However, their attorney-client relationship shows improvement, with Kohberger breaking his usual stare during conversation with Taylor to crack a smile.
You see what I mean? Instantly, it's just the most ridiculous thing. We have literally seen Ann Taylor talk close range with Bryan at the table. We've seen him and her smile at each other. We see him watching her very much with intention whenever she's speaking. She also puts her hand on his shoulder when she talks about how she believes that he is truly innocent. You can tell from looking at her in this video that something is off. All jokes aside, okay, there's issues here. There's massive, massive issues here.
We've seen throughout history. I'm going to go to Brian C. Stewart, a high-profile lawyer joining us out of this jurisdiction in Idaho. He is managing partner Parker and McConkel. Question to you, Brian. We have watched the body language in the courtroom from the get-go. And let me show you a few shots just off the top of my head. For instance,
look, these are from the very beginning.
There they are. On earlier court dates when they were still sitting together. That's one of the first.
This is back in the days whenever I said Ann Taylor could have done something with her hair, knowing that this is such a high profile case and she's going to be on camera for the world to see. And she walked into the courtroom with ponytail crinkles. Okay. I remember that date. So now she's going to go on about his suits. Literally, I don't understand the point of this video. I mean, here I am making a video about it because this whole thing is just making no sense to me.
The courtroom body language, Brian Stewart, is conveyed to a jury. It's nonverbal, but it's very clear. And we see Ann Taylor in the Kohberger case inching further and further and further away from Kohberger. Gee, I wonder why. Weigh in.
Well, there's no question.
Further and further and further away from Kohberger. No, they're not. No, they're not. She's literally touching the man. She's putting her hand physically on his body.
That the proximity and relationship that a defense attorney exhibits towards their client gives the perception of what that defense attorney actually believes about the client, whether or not they're dangerous or safe or guilty or innocent. And even setting the defense lawyer's actual beliefs aside, a seasoned defense lawyer is going to know that that perception is always on trial, even in motion hearings as well as at trial, that they're always being observed and always sending a message of how they feel about their client.
Joining us right now,
what does
special
that have
guest
to do with
Tracy
anything,
Brown, body
See, he didn't
language
say
expert,
pause.
author of.
That guy did not say anything specific to Bryan and Ann, literally at all. Yeah, we know that the way that an attorney and their client reacts to each other normally is pretty telling. Okay. That's why this makes no sense, since what we're seeing in court is the opposite of what Nancy Grace is literally saying right now.
How to detect lies, fraud, and identity theft. And you can find her at bodylanguagetrainer.com. Great to have you. I wanted you to see the various photos and see Kohberger with his lawyer. Tracy, I was looking actually at Kohberger's outfits in court, and I was comparing one suit to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and I noticed he always wore the same tie. And
are you expecting him to have a walk-in closet full of suits and accessories to pick from, Nancy Grace? What a strange comment from somebody who used to actually be a prosecuting attorney.
As I was looking at that, does his demeanor change? Does his strut into the courtroom change? Because I will never forget Scott Peterson.
You mean his strut as he has shackles around his ankles underneath his suit pants? I'm very confuzzled.
Peterson, every day, he would walk into the courtroom all puffed up like this, very cocky, like a star football player, and literally strut over to the defense table.
Literally,
And
he's not Scott Peterson.
I didn't think that was a good look for the jury. But I've been watching Kohberger's gait, his demeanor, who he looks for in the courtroom. Where does he look first? How does he seat himself? Where does he seat himself? Is he relaxed? Is he smiling?
He sits himself where he's told to sit. What do you mean where he sits himself? Like it's a choice setting? She was a lawyer, right? This isn't like made up boo-boo like Jennifer Coffindaffer. Grace was a real lawyer. Okay.
A lot of creepy grins going on. But then I began to notice, Tracy, the distance. And I guarantee you after tonight, it won't happen again. But there has been a growing distance and frigidity between his defense attorney and him. And I'd like
there hasn't.
Having studied his demeanor.
Holy crap. What hearings is she watching? Because it's not the ones that we're watching. It's not. And I don't understand how she's going to sit here and say something like, oh, I'm pretty sure like after tonight, we won't see it anymore, because we haven't seen it to begin with. We're not going to see it anymore because that's not how it's been. And not even from the very beginning. Something that a lot of us noticed was how much she would like lean in to talk to him. You don't do that if you feel threatened. Okay. You don't do that if you know for a fact. It doesn't matter how much of a seasoned attorney you are. Okay. You're not going to do that next to somebody who the world thinks literally just slayed 4 people, including 2 blonde girls that look similar to you. No, you wouldn't be getting too close and feeling so comfortable as to put your hand on his shoulder and say that you wholeheartedly believe in his innocence. I don't know what Nancy's watching, but it's got to be something on another planet or something, because this just is not the same.
And his movements in court, to give us your assessment.
Well, what I see is when he walks in, he's super stiff. So either he hasn't been
shackles
moving, like while he's in jail, which is possible, or it's maybe a subset of fear running through his body, which that would be a reasonable thing to think. Now, as the distance grows,
honey, he's not coming in off the street for a court hearing and then getting to go home and lay on his couch and watch TV. He is changing out of a jail outfit into a suit and then having some sort of restraint put on him underneath his suit for the safety of everyone because of what he is accused of. We've talked about this a lot. I've made questions about it because for a long time you couldn't see anything, and it did kind of look as if he was walking in with no restraints. And even I believe Kaylee Goncalves kind of made a comment about how he's just walking in with no restraints in his suit and stuff like that. The suit doesn't bother me literally at all, but the restraints, the restraints are there. Nancy should know this. I don't know why she's going on in this entire episode like she doesn't know how a courtroom works. Like, I know it's been a minute, honey, but there's no way that you've forgotten the basics.
Right? That says emotional separation. And they definitely do not have a close relationship, him and his lawyer. Now, here's what I noticed that was really interesting in some of the video that your team sent me is when they left the courtroom, the team, he left and he got out of there. And the rest of the team was still back at the table. And
that's normal for someone who is freaking incarcerated. Do these people like not know anything at all about their jobs? So you just think that like the person who's in jail and in cuffs gets to just dilly-dally in the back and nonchalantly just converse with everybody after court? No, they pretty much like instantly get taken back into custody and put behind bars. I'm very confused at what these people are saying right now, because it's literally like they don't live in our reality.
That tells me that he has not necessarily accepted his lawyer as the unconscious leader of the group. Because if that was the case, they would rise and he would wait for them and they would leave together. So that really
oh my God, no, they wouldn't leave together.
They are not a tight unit team at all.
Okay, I'm so glad that's over. No, they would not leave together, because Ann Taylor gets to go to her car and gets to go home and like get a drink before she gets back to her bed. Okay, Bryan Kohberger has to go back to a cell. He has to go back to a cell. So what do you mean? You see? Nothing in that whole thing made any sense. I am still just as aggravated now as I was whenever I was watching that a few minutes ago. I don't understand the concepts of anything that she put together in this video. It's literally, like I said 30 times, like she's watching something completely different than all of us out here are watching. Like she's watching something completely different whenever we're all gathered together to watch these live hearings where we're literally seeing Ann Taylor and Bryan sitting within mere inches of each other. No one is sitting apart from anybody. I don't know where she's getting this rhetoric from. It's a little bit weird. Not a little bit, it's a lot of bit weird. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments, because to me, this was just a lot of bit weird. Or else I wouldn't have put y'all through the torture of watching that whole thing with me, as much as I know that my lovelies do not like this woman, okay? Something was just way off here. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. See y'all.